Hello, this is Noreen from Joya Cards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! For more of my Stampin' Up card videos, please click that subscribe button and the little bell, and you'll be notified when my videos release. Also, I give away the demo card, so if you're a first-time subscriber, put your email in the comments and I'll email you back and let you know if you won the card. Also, make sure you watch the video all the way through, because you never know, I might give the card away to anyone, or I might be doing card kits or swaps or something. So anyway, now let's go make a card. Today's card is a Christmas card, yay! And we're going to be using Happy Holly Days, and we are also going to be using tasteful labels and a little bit of the berry punch, and we're also going to be using a little bit of this really beautiful Peaceful Prints Christmas paper, which is really pretty. So why don't I go ahead and get started. So when I first got this stamp set, what I did is I stamped everything out first. This kind of jogs your mind to do something a little more creative. You also know how well the stamps stamp and how dark they stamp. Some things are kind of a shadowy or a watercolor wash or whatever. So this is really helpful to do. Plus, this stamp set is in the new mini catalog on page 27. It's right here. And its celebration, I don't know when you're watching this video, is till the end of September. This is 2021. So don't forget that if you spend $50 more, you get something free out of the catalog. Oh, look at the sheep. Anyway, so that's going on. And if you go to my video notes, if you click on the bit.ly links for any of these things, you can place an order and start with that. So anyway, let's put the card together. So for the base on the front of the card, this is what we've got: a basic black 5.5 by 4.25, a shimmery white, and this is going to be 5.25 by 4, a piece of that DS paper with the lines on it here, and this is 1 by 5.25, and a piece of shimmery white, which is 0.75 by 5.25. So the first thing we're going to do is stamp the holly. Now, the way I got these to stamp pretty darn straight is I used my Stamparatus. So here's the stamp right here. Now, when you're using your Stamparatus, put your box underneath so it makes it nice for inking your stamp. And then you're going to grab the holly and have it going the correct way up. You know, that's more correct than that. And then I'm going to take the stamp and I'm going to use the stamp to kind of measure where how far away from the edge of the paper I am. And I'm going to take the ends of the stamp, like this one here, and I'm going to put my head in the camera, I'm so sorry, and I am putting it right at the edge of the paper. So this is at the edge and this top is at the edge, just like so. Then we're going to close it and pull it up. Now on my Stamparatus, I don't have the pad or anything on, it's just the bottom of the plate here. And now we're going to go ahead and take some Memento and go ahead and ink it up and close it up, and it should be right where we want it, just like that. Now, this is important. Next step, we need to move the holly around. I can't just pull the plate up and move it around. It's not going to do that. So the first thing I need to do is clean this stamp. So I'm going to take a piece of paper, scratch paper, and blot it up. And then I'm going to take my chamois and I'm going to wipe it. And my chamois is kind of moist because I just did it. And go ahead and take paper again and make sure you're soaking up the water from the stamp. And then I'm going to take my stamp again and I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to do the middle last. So I'm going to line it up with the edge of the stamp on the side and the edge of the stamp on the top, like so. And then close it, pull it up and do the same thing. And then close it. And that's how you do that. So now I'm going to do the middle. So I'm going to take off the excess ink. And I'm doing that only to save my chamois. Not that it needs saved, because it's really bad. In fact, I treated myself to a new one and I'm too cheap to open the bag again yet. It's like, oh, I can get that way more messy. And then I'm going to get the rest of that water off. And then I'm going to grab the stamp again and I'm going to measure just the top, and then you just kind of have to eyeball it. I mean, you can try to measure it and all, but I think my eyes are just as good as a ruler. So I'm going to close that up and go like that, and let's ink it up, and then go down, and that's how you do that. So, and by the way, first of all, I give away the demo card. I'm only giving away one because I need to start hoarding Christmas cards, so I'm not making so many at the end. So I'm giving away one demo card to only a first-time subscriber. So subscribe, like, and put in the comments your email and say, hey, I want to win the demo card, and see if you win. So now we're going to do the other side, and yes, we're going to take this off, and we're going to turn it around. Now, I had this lined up on this particular line and right in the middle. So a little over this line and a little over that line, because this is 5 1/4. And then I'm going to put the magnets on in the middle, and guess what I'm going to do again? I'm going to do the same thing as we did to the other side. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Actually, I'm back, and I wanted to point something out. When you do the other side, you want to make sure that your holly is going the right direction. So you want to make sure that they're all facing up, okay? If I turn this around, it would look different. So I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it with this going up. So I have to line up the bottom part here and the side right here on the left, and then I'm closing it and inking it. So I wanted to point that out. So I'm going to go ahead and do these, and I'll be back. I'm back. So confession time. The reason why I went ahead and told you about the direction of the stamp on the other side is because when I did it, boom, I did it upside down, and it doesn't look as good when this side is upright and this side isn't. And well, maybe you like it better, but I like it more like this. So make sure that you have the stamps going the correct direction. Now we're going to go ahead and do some coloring, and I'm going to take my dark and light shaded spruce and the dark real red, and on the light shaded spruce, and if you notice these leaves, one side is smaller or darker or lighter than the other. I always do the smaller, lighter one in the light shaded spruce, and I'm coloring within that black line. Don't color over it. And I'm going to color each leaf in the light shaded spruce, and then I'm going to color the other side with the dark shaded spruce, just like that. So there's my light, and here's my dark shaded spruce. And I'm using the pointy end, not the painty end. That's a word. And I'm just coloring in it. And by the way, all the dimensions and all the supplies I'm using are in the body of my video. So just click on that down arrow and you'll bring up the description of everything, and they're in there. So like I said, you can click on a bit.ly link. That's just a little web link that's used. If you click on it, it brings up to my direct Stampin' Up website, and you can place an order directly. And don't forget to use the host code, which is right here. If it's not August, if it's September, then go ahead and email me for a host code. So that's how I do the leaves. And then for the berries, I'm using the dark real red. Now the berry has some shading in it, and then it's an open. And what I'm doing is I'm going to leave a little bit of that open white part plain, so it looks like it's getting a highlight. So it'll look like so. Don't forget, I give away the demo card, so put your name and email in the comments and say, I want to win a demo card, and then I'll let you know if you've won. I'm only giving away one because I'm starting to hoard Christmas cards. So that's what those look like. So I'm going to do the rest of them, and I'll be back. And I'm finished with all the coloring. It looks really good. Now this is on shimmery white paper. Now inside I'm using basic white, but this shimmery white paper is really good when you're coloring anything. And it's on page 136 in the annual catalog, shimmery white paper. There's a link in the body of my video if you want to go ahead and place an order for it. Just click on it and you're right there. So now I'm going to take the Happy Christmas from the Happy Holly Days right here. And I'm going to go ahead and take Memento again and ink that up. And I'm going to take this piece, and this was the one that's the 0.75 by 5 1/4. Mind my head. I'm going to stick it here in the camera, and I'm just going to put it right here in the middle. Yes, I have red hair. Ah. Anyway, so I'm going to hold that down. And this stamp, one of the good reasons to do this pre-stamping is to know what really stamps well and what doesn't. If this didn't stamp well, I would be using my stamping pad, but I don't need it for this one. So now we've got that stamped, and let's go ahead and bring out our card base, and let's put the front together. So I'm just going to use regular snail. You can see my mess up on the back, but that's okay. That's what the other side's for. And then I'm going to put this in the middle like so. And then I'm going to take the DS paper, the Peaceful Prints, and just snail this, and I'm going to put it right in the middle to the edge like that. And with the Happy Christmas, I'm going to take dimensionals to it and put it on. So I'm going to dimensional this up and be back. I've got that all dimensionaled, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this on the middle on one side and go to the left. And that's the front of the card. Now let's do the inside. Now you're going to get your tasteful labels out and take the die that looks like this and get some Whisper White. And we're going to stamp the saying from Happy Holidays. And we're going to use Memento again. And I know that this stamp well, so I don't need my stamping pad. And I'm going to just put this in black. And yes, I'm going to stick my head in the camera again and get this right there in the middle. And there we go. Now you're going to cut a piece of Peaceful Prints, and this is 5 1/4 by 4 3/16, not 4 1/4, because you need the card to be able to close without interfering with it. So there's a slight little edge there, so it folds nicely. And then we're going to go ahead and snail this up too. And then the one thing I did use the punch for, and I'm going to put this a little higher up in the middle, is these little holly leaves. So I took the punch, and these make all these little negatives on top of also doing the positive. So I could have made a card using this as well, and in fact I might later on. But I took the little clippings from it, and I'm going to arrange them out. Now I'm going to take my silicone craft sheet. This thing is amazing. If you don't have one, oh my gosh, get one, because you can snail on it, you can use glue on it, you can blend inks with it, so it's awesome. So I grabbed 3 of each here, and I'm going to take my fine tip glue, another thing that I love to death, and I'm going to put a little bit on the silicone craft sheet. And when this dries, it's just going to peel right off. Like this is a little part that I did earlier, peeled right off, throw that away. Or you can just rinse it off in the sink. Is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and do the little berries first. And I just did this in white. And I'm going to dip it in that ink, take off a little excess, and then I'm going to decide where to put it. So I'm going to put it like right here. And I'm using my tweezers, of course. And then I'm going to arrange some of these guys. So I'm going to put their backs up. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the fine tip glue on the leaves themselves here. And take my tweezers. And I'm going to line them up and just put them on like so. So one there. And I'm going to put the short one in the middle like so. And put the big one on the end like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and I'll be right back. Now I'm putting on this last leaf here. I'm going to go ahead, before I put it on, here's a quick tip. When you've got the glue on there, wipe it on your mat and then put it on, so you know that you're not leaving any excess on your paper. So anyway, that is the demo card. Don't forget, I give away one to a new subscriber only, and put your email and your name in the comments so I could talk to you. If you don't put your email, I can't talk to you, and say, I'd like to win the demo card, so I know that's what you're after. So that'll do it for me. Thanks. Bye.